Hey everybody, this is Anthony from VR Game Rankings. Welcome to another episode of our daily vlog series. It is Tuesday, November 28th, and I do have a handful of news stories today and possibly some VR experiences that I could get into, but we'll go ahead and just see where we end up as we go through this stuff. Okay, so the very first news story I have, this is kind of on the lighter side of VR news, but the first story that I have is VR's killer app has finally arrived. No, I'm not talking about Fallout VR. I'm not talking about Doom VFR. I'm not talking about Valve's 3 VR games that they're working on. I'm talking about Desert Bus VR. Yes, this is the Penn and Teller game, Desert Bus VR. It is available now and it is free, so you can go ahead and download this today. It is on Steam. It is absolutely free and you can play this. So what the hell is Desert Bus VR? Well, this actually goes way back, I believe, to the Sega CD, if I'm not mistaken. There was some type of unreleased Penn and Teller game, I believe, that was on the Sega CD, and it was like Penn and Teller's whatever, blah, 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 and it was a Sega CD game, okay? So this game surfaced later, and people found it, and I think they got like the ISO image of it, and people started playing this, and it became this cult classic because basically what the game is, it's really a joke, is what the game is. And what it is you're on this bus, and the bus is just moving forward, and all you have to do, it's like there's no scenery hardly at all. You're just driving this bus down the road, but it veers off to the left, so you can't leave your controller alone. You have to pay attention to it. You have to occasionally tap the controller a little bit here, a little bit there. And so a lot of people have used this Penn and Teller Desert Bus game. They've used it for fundraisers, and they'll have like a 24-hour stream where all we're playing is Desert Bus, and see how incredibly bored we are. And so it kind of became this cult classic that a lot of people got into, and people still use it today as for fundraisers and stuff like that. And so Penn and Teller, they've been good. Well, one of them, I believe, is really good friends with one of the Gearbox guys, and they were joking around about making a new Desert Bus game, but this time in virtual reality. And they actually did it, and that's what we have available today. And so basically the developer is Dinosaur Games. It's in collaboration with Gearbox Software, and you're driving a commercial passenger bus at blistering speeds of up to 45 miles per hour on an 8-hour journey from Arizona to Nevada. And this is in real time, okay? This is in real time. So some of the topics that they bring up on their Steam page: getting towed has never been more fun. Experience the realistic consequences of driving off the road with a tow service that takes you back to the start in real time. So if you screw up and you're not paying attention, you accidentally drift off the side of the road, you will actually be towed in real time all the way back to the start. Play nonstop for hours of amusement. Enjoy the action-packed 8-hour road trip from Tucson to Las Vegas. When you make it to Nevada, turn around and do it all again. Yeah, it sounds like a great time. Feel the crushing, oppressive silence. Tune into a variety of engaging radio programs, including one featuring the dulcet tones of Penn Jillette himself. You can even turn the radio on and off. Wow. Get the authentic bus driving experience. Learn what it's like to be a real bus driver with exciting gameplay that allows you to honk the horn and open the bus door. Tap the fully interactive air freshener for some hardcore pine-scented action. Purchase of air freshener required for full effect. Yeah, they had a little asterisk on that. Join your friends on this road trip. Play with up to 4 friends in Desert Bus VR's groundbreaking new multiplayer mode. Passengers can sit, wave, and even throw wads of paper at the driver. So yeah, this is kind of a funny joke thing, but basically the cool thing about this is now for future fundraising things, people are going to start doing this now because you can have 4 people in it. You can actually play this non-VR as well. So it was designed for VR, but you can play this non-VR as well. But yeah, Desert Bus, it's this joke, you know, it goes back to this unreleased Sega CD game, and it's just kind of this cult classic. It's probably really dumb, but I think it's probably worth it to go ahead and download this demo, get in there, and just kind of see how stupid it all is. But you might want a little bit of backstory on Desert Bus, like the original Desert Bus. So just head to YouTube. I'm sure there's plenty of little documentaries that you can watch about that. But that is Desert Bus VR. Yeah, you know, we've been waiting for our killer app in VR, and we finally have our killer app, and it is, of course, Desert Bus. Okay, so the next story I have now, this is a Reddit post, but I thought I would go ahead and read this Reddit post and think about this topic for a little bit, because this kind of blew up on the subreddit, on the Vive subreddit for a little while there. It has 551 comments, so it obviously struck a major nerve. So anyway, basically there was this guy on the Vive subreddit that was saying, HTC really blew it this holiday season. Okay, so I'm going to read what he had to say. So he said, HTC offered the Vive with integrated headphones and 1 free game for $600, and Oculus offered the Rift with integrated headphones and like 8 free games for $350. No wonder they're getting trounced by Facebook. I have the DAS, which is the deluxe audio strap, and it's nice, but it's not $100 nice, and frankly it should be bundled free with all new units anyway. Offering the deluxe audio strap with the HMD as a deal is a total joke. It's like getting the deluxe floor mats thrown in with your new car. Seriously, I bet the deluxe audio strap cost them like $5 to produce. Somebody really needs to get fired over this. Dang. Okay, and then he has a couple of edits after tons of people were commenting on this. He says, I'll take your downvotes with a side of explaining how exactly HTC didn't fail this holiday. Where are all the pictures of people with their new Vives, like in our Oculus and our PSVR? And then edit number 2, the HTC Vive bundled with a 1070 for $799 was a much better deal when it was offered. They should have brought that back and still thrown in the deluxe audio strap. So that was his comment. And the number 1 upvoted reply is from Pat Trick, and he got 100 points from upvotes from this, and I'll go ahead and read his reply. He's saying, from a neutral point of view, and having used both the Vive and the Rift, yes, Oculus is doing well in sales due to their lower price point and bundles. They will likely garner more market penetration as a result, which will give developers and larger game companies more confidence in the platform. Oculus may operate at a loss to make this happen. See the first Xbox and how Microsoft sold it at a loss to get a foot in the market. In the end, developers making games that support multiple VR platforms will benefit everyone. It doesn't really matter to the general end consumer which is the better platform. They will spend their money where they choose to, and lower costs will simply equate to more sales and hopefully more efforts by developers to make VR games, since more folks are likely to buy them. Okay, so you know, I don't know that this guy's reply was anything special, but anyway, he was the number 1 upvoted guy. And so I kind of understand what this guy is saying with his complaint. He's saying HTC really blew it this holiday season. He's saying somebody needs to get fired over this, which I think that is a little bit much. Come on. I mean, what if somebody said you need to be fired from your job? I mean, everybody's trying to do the best job that they can, so I don't know that we want to go there. Having said all of that, could HTC have done more with possible sales, possible bundles? And I kind of think that they could have possibly done more. It is a little bit embarrassing if you really think about it. If you really think about all the free games that Oculus gives you, and then they're pricing it at $350, that is such a hard deal to beat compared to the HTC Vive. Now, the Vive does have this major advantage with the true room scale feature, and not, but you know, it's funny because a lot of the Vive's advantages are kind of hidden. They're hidden realities that you don't find out about until later. For example, somebody will buy an Oculus Rift, right? and you get 2 sensors in the box. And so they'll get their Rift home and they'll set it up and they'll start using it, and they'll come to a conclusion pretty quickly that they need at least 1 more sensor, if not 2 more sensors. So then they order another sensor, okay? And then another thing that they're going to come to the conclusion of is they're probably going to need a USB card for their computer, because their computer probably isn't going to have enough USB controllers to handle all of these different little USB things that you're plugging in. And I know all of this from firsthand experience, because I got an Oculus Rift. It came with 2 sensors. I had to go buy a 3rd one. And then I bought a 4th one, constantly trying to make it better. And then, of course, I did need to buy the Initech USB card. I did need to buy that because my USB ports were just overrun, like the controllers. It couldn't handle all these different USB devices. And also, I don't know if you guys probably can't see it, but I have all these wires that are strung across my ceiling like extensions. There's one Oculus sensor that's right up there, and then there's one Oculus sensor that's right up there, and then I have an Oculus sensor over there and an Oculus sensor over there. I got 4 of them, and 2 of them I'm able to wire to the computer without having to use extra extensions. But these 2, I had to use extra extensions, and you have to wire everything up. It can really be a pain in the ass. And so when it comes to the HTC Vive and just having 2 lighthouses and not having to worry about all this extra crap, that is a major value. But the problem is, it's one of these things that consumers aren't going to realize until after they've already made the purchase. So I don't think a lot of people know that they're going to have to run wires all over the damn place, that they're going to have so many USB ports and blah, 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 blah. So HTC Vive does have some tremendous advantages, but they're not the kind of advantages that really stand out. The other thing too is room scale. Like, I have this big giant open area right here that I can use for room scale, which is absolutely awesome, but I'm probably in like 5% of all HTC Vive users that actually have this kind of space. Like, the average person does not have this kind of space that they can dedicate to VR. I'm a crazy psycho, so I'm able to do that, but your average person's not going to be able to do that. Their wife, their significant other, whatever, they're not going to go for it. They're going to be like, yeah, you want to move all these couches and this coffee table and everything out of here so you can turn this into a VR room? No, it's not going to happen. So there's some issues there, but I do believe that HTC could have provided maybe some additional free games. And I do agree when it comes to the deluxe audio strap. I understand that HTC made this accessory, the deluxe audio strap, and they want to sell it for a while, and they want to get money for it, and they want to, reap the benefits of creating it. But at a certain point, they need to say, okay, now we need to redesign our HTC Vive retail box, and we kind of need to redesign how the Vive is shipped, and let's throw the deluxe audio strap in. Let's have it built in from the very beginning. And they could have definitely added a few more free games as well, I think, to the mix to make it a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they necessarily blew it, because we did have that story yesterday, how we were talking about 1 million HMDs shipped, I believe, in the 3rd quarter of this year. And I think Vive had like Vive was about 160,000 units of that 1 million. So they're moving systems. People are buying this thing because people know, like, if you get down to the brass tacks and people will ask, what is the best VR system? A lot of people will say the Vive is the best, and it's the best because the tracking doesn't have any issues and you don't have all these like wires and stuff. Now, Oculus is better in certain ways because the controllers are way the hell better. I'm sorry, the Vive wands are just not good. Once you've used an Oculus Rift for a long time and you get used to those, the crazy thing about the Oculus Rift, right? You have your left hand and you have your right hand. How many times, I'm talking to people with the Vive, how many times have you started up a game, okay, that was running in Unreal, and you put your wrist straps on and you have your Vives on, and you realize that your hands are backwards. You know, your hands are like this, and so you need to take off the wrist straps and put the different, you know, switch controllers. Something about Unreal, I don't know if this is only me, but I've seen this happen repeatedly, where I would play an Unreal Engine game and it would always get my hands backwards for who knows what reason, right? Well, with the Oculus Rift, one of the nice benefits, there's only one left controller. There's only one right controller. You can't switch them. You know, it's the left controller goes to your left hand. That's it. The right controller goes to your right hand. There's no options. There's no, oh, I need to take this off and switch sides. That isn't going to work. And so the one nice benefit of this is I've never had that problem playing with Oculus. So, and you get used to the controllers. They melt into your hands, and it's just more comfortable and ergonomic. Vive has basically every other advantage, though. I really do believe that Vive pretty much has every other advantage besides the controllers and besides the cost. But yeah, I don't know that I could say HTC has blown it. First of all, the holiday season isn't over, you know, so there's still some stuff they could possibly do. They could still have a major discount or something, or they could bundle something in. They are giving people Fallout 4, which is attractive, you know. So anyway, there's that story. I just thought I would cover that real quick and kind of go over that a little bit. Okay, the next big story we have is Echo Arena. The Chronos update is going to be coming very soon. And I've talked about Echo Arena a number of times where I've said that it's an amazing free experience. It's a wonderful experience. But every time I get in there, I just get absolutely demolished and devastated, and I can't compete with the experts that are in there. And I've cried a million times about, you know, could there be some type of matchmaking improvements? Could we get private games where, what if I could get into a game where it's me and Gary and we're playing Steve and Chris? I mean, how cool would that be? Where it's just us four. There's nobody else in there. And so we don't have to worry about all the experts that are going to destroy us. It's just us. And so we get to find out who of us is the best player, but we don't have to worry about these experts just wiping the floor with us. Well, this Echo Arena Chronos update could be exactly what we've been dreaming about. So what they're going to add here, they're adding a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, first of all, they're going to have a spectator mode. So players can now become a spectator in public and private matches. Public matches support up to 9 spectator players, 15 players total, while private matches allow a maximum of 13 players in the spectator role in case you'd like to watch a one-on-one. The spectator role provides a unique viewing experience that captures all the action from various different angles, including point of view, third-person follow, and disc follow. Now, disc follow seems like that would just make you sick, but I don't know, maybe it works. The interesting thing about this spectator mode that's being added to Echo Arena is if anybody that's played Spark has the coolest spectator mode I've ever seen. It's like you're looking at this fish tank and like you're this gigantic Godzilla that's like outside of this aquarium, and you're looking at these two little guys that are playing this game, and you could look at them real close and it's showing their moves like it looks real, you know. It's like this little hologram that's sitting there in front of you. And I wonder if I wonder if Ready at Dawn kind of saw what they did with Spark with that spectator mode, and they kind of got some ideas off of that a little bit. Matchmaking improvements. No more mismatched team sizes. Players should no longer find themselves in 2 versus 3 or 1 versus 3. So that's huge. I mean, obviously, it's bad enough when you're getting wiped across the floor by players a million times better than you, but if you're one person against 3, I mean, obviously that's going to really cause problems. Shiny new lobby screens. To replace the blank screens in the lobby where the leaderboards used to live, there are now 5 new screens with various pieces of important information, such as where to report players violating the code of conduct and blah, blah, blah. So they added that. New barrier display. The new arena barrier in front of the goal shows helpful information about the match and updates after a goal is scored to call out who scored it, who assisted, the number of points accrued, the speed at which it entered the goal, and more. That's pretty cool, actually. I haven't read a lot of this stuff beforehand, so I'm kind of understanding this stuff along with you guys at the same time. Private match updates, custom rules. Using the podium within the arena, the party leader can now set custom rules for the match, such as time and the amount of points each team will start with. So let's see here. I have so there's a number of other little things I'll mention here. I didn't want to write all this stuff down. So there's balance and game mechanic changes. They're reworking the joust system. I don't want to get totally into that. Okay, regrab timing increased from 0.25 seconds to it's been increased from 0.10 seconds to 0.25 seconds. After a steal, a player won't be able to regrab the disc back until a certain amount of time has passed. Piggybacking speed has been reduced. Net code improvements. Speed tapping has been removed. So just a lot of stuff, you know. Catapult grip break. They do have some known issues that are still with this, but you know, a lot of stuff has been added. So this is the big major update that I think we were all waiting for. And so if you used to play Echo Arena, or you played it a few times and you're just like, nah, dude, I'm not going back into Echo Arena. It's just the hell with that. Well, now, once this patch goes live, you're probably going to want to check it out. And I can tell you, I absolutely am going to want to check it out. And I'm going to try to get Gary and Steve and Chris. I'm going to try to say, dudes, we got to get together. Let's show up, because this is a free game. So you can download this game on multiple Oculus accounts. So we all should be able to get in there and be able to play for free. I mean, be able to play, and it's free and everything, and we should be able to meet up in there and get a nice game of Echo Arena. Maybe even one of us could record it and we could have our commentary, although I'll probably play so terrible, and then I'll be exposed to the world as how terrible of an Echo Arena player I am. But I think it still would be fun and it would be great. So I'm looking forward to this update without any doubts. Okay, the last story that I have today is Doom VFR in the wild again. Okay, so this is on the PlayStation VR subreddit. This guy, he's in, let's see, this was Newport News, Virginia at a Best Buy. A guy was there, took a picture of it, and you can see there's like 7 copies of Doom VFR just sitting there on the shelf in this Best Buy. Now, in this particular thread, some other people jumped in the thread and said, yeah, that's nice, but you're not going to be able to buy that, because they know, they've been to Best Buy, and the way Best Buy does their computer system, you can't buy something ahead of its release date, because they're saying what'll happen is you'll take that, you'll go to the register, and they'll say, oh, sorry, we can't sell this till Friday. And this is something that does happen quite a bit. But I just wanted to comment on general, what the hell is going on here? Why are there so many Doom VFRs that are showing up everywhere so early? It's coming out this Friday. Now, I could see if this was Wednesday of this week and it started showing up, and Thursday of this week it starts showing up, I can understand that. But people were finding Doom VFR last week. You know, it was at a store last week. Somebody bought it, took it home, and started playing it, was talking all about it. So Doom VFR is out there. The downside is it's the PlayStation VR version. I have to say, personally, I'm looking forward more to playing it on the Vive, you know, or the Rift. Hopefully, if it works on the Rift. That's going to be another major question. Is it going to work okay on the Rift? We imagine it will, but we just don't know for sure. But I mean, even if I could, like, say right now, I could run down and I could get Doom VFR right now for PlayStation VR, would I do it? Man, I don't know. I would be kind of tempted, especially from the standpoint of me having this platform as doing daily news and having VR game rankings and all of that. It would be tempting to get it right away and comment on it earlier. But honestly, I kind of want to play the higher end version on the Vive or the Rift or whatever, and try it there with better tracking and hopefully better graphics and stuff like that. So I'm not a PC VR snob. I know PSVR is still a great system, and I'm sure the PSVR version of Doom will be damn good, but I don't know. I just kind of have my heart set on playing it on the either the Rift or the Vive, and so we'll have to see how that happens. But yeah, it's crazy to see how many copies of these are just leaking out into the wild, and I know a lot of people are throwing these things on eBay. I could probably go to eBay right now, and I bet you Doom VFR is on eBay for like some crazy astronomical price, and some crazy person is probably going to buy it. But anyway, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. 25 minutes, so a little bit of a shorter show today, which is good for me. I need to start clipping these shows off a little bit earlier if I can. This, of course, has been episode 41 of the VR Game Rankings daily vlog series for Tuesday, November 28th. All right, everybody have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.